So good morning class 12, and today is 2nd of November, that is Monday, and we will continue with our topic, that is chemical kinetics. Last I had left you at the difference between rate of reaction and rate constant of the reaction, right? Now we are going to discuss about molecularity and order of reaction today, and this part is important. Now, in simple words, what is meant by molecularity of a reaction? The total number of reactant moles taking part in a chemical reaction is known as molecularity of a reaction. Okay, suppose there are two reactants A and B. Okay, so uh, A is 2 moles and B is 1 mole, right? Okay, is this visible to you? Is this visible to you clearly? Now it is better. Okay, so suppose we have 2 moles of A and 1 mole of B, right, taking part in a chemical reaction. So total number of moles is how much? 3. So molecularity is 3. Okay, so molecularity means total number of moles taking part on the reactant side. That is molecularity of the reaction. Now molecularity can be 1, 2, 3. Alright. Why not more than this? Molecularity can be 1, 2 and 3. Now, reactions with higher molecularity are very rare for a simple reason. If we have molecules like this, okay, one is A, another is B, another is C. Now, if we have three types of molecules in the reaction mixture, they are going to collide with each other. A will collide with A will collide with B, A will collide with C. Okay, similarly B will collide with A, it will be repetition here, so B will collide with C and B will collide with B. So these are the various possibilities. C can collide with C and it has already collided with A and B. So many possibilities are there, but still the product will not be formed. Product will be formed when all A, B and C they collide with each other. They will form the product. Okay, so the interesting part is so many collisions are taking place in that particular reaction mixture, but none is resulting in the formation of product. So the more the number of molecules, the different types of molecules present in the reaction mixture, the rate of reaction will decrease because the possibility of all of them in colliding with each other to form products is very less. That means this is known as elastic collision. Last time I had told you, so, or effective collision. Effective collision. The possibility of effective collisions is very less. And until and unless effective collisions will take place, it will not result in the formation of product. So higher molecularity reactions are very rare because the rate of reaction is very slow and the possibility of all of them colliding with each other to form product is also very slow. Okay, it is also very rare. Therefore, molecularity can be 1, 2 and 3, but it cannot have value 0. If 0 molecules are there, no product will be formed. Next is order of reaction. Now, suppose 2 moles of A and 1 mole of B are reacting with each other, but change in concentration of A, whether it is 2 moles, 4 moles, 6 moles, 1 by 2 moles, it is not affecting the rate of reaction. But change in concentration of B affects the rate of reaction. Then order of reaction will be with respect to B. That means it is the number of molecules of the reactant which affect the rate of reaction. They affect the rate of reaction directly. You change the concentration of those molecules or reactant molecules, the product will change. And if we change 2A, we make it 4A, still the rate of reaction is remaining the same. That means it is independent of the concentration of A. Is that clear? So order and molecularity is may be same, but it is actually theoretically speaking, they are two different concepts. Okay. Now, for molecularity of the reaction, we have here the definition is the number of reactant species, atoms, ions, or molecules which must collide simultaneously. See, this word is very important, simultaneously. They may all collide together, then only product is formed in order to bring about the chemical reaction is called molecularity of the reaction. Like here, molecularity will be 1 because ammonium nitrate is breaking up into nitrogen and water. Molecularity is 1, or we call it unimolecular reaction. Unimolecular reaction. If there are two reactants molecules, total number of molecules is 2 moles. So it is 2 bimolecular reaction. Here it is 2NO plus O2 changing into 2NO2. So it is 3, right? For most of the reactions, the molecularity does not exceed 3. I just now explained it to you. It is because the chances of simultaneous collisions between 3 or more particles are rare. I hope this is clear to you. Okay. Now what is meant by elementary reaction? Elementary is a one-step reaction. Reaction which occur in one step. I repeat, reactions which occur in one step are called elementary reactions. Okay. Reactions which occur in more than one step are known as complex reaction. Now, elementary reaction has got two definitions. It was asked last year in the examination paper and both were acceptable. You have to read the question carefully. You have to define elementary reaction in a complex reaction or elementary reaction as such. Elementary reaction is one step reaction. Like we have here ammonium nitrate. This is one step reaction. Okay. So this is elementary reaction. Now in complex reaction, the reaction will take place in more than one step. Now hydrogen and bromine to, together forms HBr, but actual reaction is carried out in several steps. Step 1, okay, here HBr plus oxygen will form HOOBr, then HOBr plus HBr is fast and it is forming 2HOBr, then HOBr plus HBr is again fast forming water and bromine. Now you will add all the three. Okay, you will add all the three reactions together. Those HOBr and HOBr will get cancelled, correct? Right? Then HOBr will get cancelled, and you are going to copy down the remaining. So it will be 1, 2 and 3, and we have multiplied this equation by 2, so it is 4HBr plus O2, right, is giving you 2H2O and 2Br, Br2. Now, what is the idea of this whole thing? The idea is a complex reaction occurs in more than one step. The slowest step is the rate determining step. Remember this sentence. In a complex reaction, it is the slowest step which is the rate determining step. The slowest step is the rate determining step. These two steps have got nothing to do with the rate of the reaction. Okay? Even molecularity, the slowest step, since it is the rate determining step, the molecularity for this reaction will be 2 for this particular step. Molecularity is determined for each step. Here molecularity will be 2, here again 2, here again 2. Alright? Now, each step of a complex reaction is also called elementary reaction. One definition of elementary reaction we had done here. It takes place in one step. Each step of a complex reaction is also called elementary reaction. Okay? Molecularity of the overall reaction has no significance in the above case. When the reaction is taking place in 3 steps, you will see the molecularity of which step. So we say molecularity of overall reaction has no meaning at all. It will only be molecularity of each step. Okay. for this step 2, for this step 2, for this step 2 separately. We will not take molecularity of overall reaction. Which step will be the rate determining step? This step. So the concentration of these two reactants is going to control the rate of reaction, because in this step only these two reactants are involved. Okay. Alright, next we go on to order of reaction. Now the first thing which is important for board exam is your definition for order of reaction. What is order? It is equal to the sum of the powers of concentration terms, okay, present in the rate law expression. It is equal to the sum of the powers of concentration terms present in the rate law expression. Okay, now what is the rate law expression? I told you rate is equal to K concentration of A raised to the power of X. It is not raised to the power of small a. If it was raised to the power of small a, it will be the stoichiometric coefficient or number of moles of A taking part in a balanced chemical equation. This is not got nothing to do with number of moles or balanced chemical equation. I will just now explain it to you what is this X and Y. It is equal to K concentration of A raised to the power of X into concentration of B raised to the power of Y. Now, overall order of the reaction, how will you read this equation? Rate of reaction, okay, or order of reaction with respect to A is X. Order of reaction with respect to A is X, and order of reaction with respect to B is Y. Overall order of the reaction is X plus Y. Overall order of the reaction will be X plus Y. Now how to determine the value of X and Y? That is done experimentally. The value of X and Y is determined experimentally. We will come to that a little later. Just now a little more about order. Now, order of reaction can have value 0. Molecularity cannot be 0. You can't have a reaction where 0 molecules are taking part in a chemical reaction. But order of reaction can be 0, 1, 2, 3, and even in fractions. Okay, so it can have value 0, 1, 2, 3, and even in fractions. Now, what is a zero order reaction? Zero order reaction is a reaction which is independent of change in concentration of reactant molecules. Meaning, suppose one reactant, this reaction I had taken as an example where ammonium nitrate was decomposing into nitrogen and water. Okay, now here one molecularity is 1, but what about order of reaction? If I make the concentration of ammonium nitrate double, okay, I make it into 2, the rate of reaction should also become double, but it may happen it is unaffected. Nothing is happening to the rate of reaction. If I make it 3 times, then 2 it is unaffected. If I make it 4 times, then 2 it is unaffected. That means rate of reaction is independent of the concentration of the reactants. The rate of reaction is being independent of the concentration of the reactants. Is that clear? This will be a zero order reaction. This will be known as zero order reaction, right? Then how can you change the rate of reaction for a zero order reaction? Can anybody answer this question? Since it is independent, it is not depending on concentration of the reactant molecule, then how can you change the rate of reaction of a zero order reaction? How can we change it? It has got something to do with factors affecting rate of reaction. Which are the other factors which affect the rate of reaction? Yes, very good. We can increase temperature, the rate of collision will increase, rate of reaction will increase. What else? What else we can do? Pressure does not affect the rate of reaction so much as catalyst. We can use a catalyst to increase the rate of reaction. Okay, we can increase the surface area of reactant. We are not increasing concentration, but we can increase the surface area. We can have it in powdered form, isn't it? Then too the rate of reaction will increase. But we will not do anything. We will not change the rate of the concentration of the reactants. Okay, all right. What is the difference between molecularity and order? This is very often asked. What is the give two difference between molecularity and order? The first difference is always the definition. It is the number of reacting species undergoing simultaneous collision in the reaction. Okay. What is order? It is the sum of the powers of the concentration terms in the rate law expression. It is the sum of the powers of the concentration terms in the rate law expression. It cannot be zero or in fraction. Molecules never react in fractions, and neither there is a reaction where molecules are zero. Number of molecules participating is zero. It is not possible. It may be zero or in fraction also. Molecularity is for each step of the reaction and is explained by mechanism of the reaction. This is for complex reaction. If the reaction is taking place in several steps, molecularity is to be determined for each step. Okay. What is the order of the reaction? It is for the overall reaction and is determined experimentally. This line is very important. It has got nothing to do with a balanced equation. Order of reaction cannot be determined by a balanced chemical equation. Okay. Now, next we go on to unit of rate constant for the reactions of different orders. Unit of rate constant for the reaction of different orders. Okay. How can you determine the unit? You are asked in 1 mark question. Unit for the rate constant for first order reaction, for second order reaction. So general, I have got it over here in general, and then from there we can derive instead of learning. Rate is equal to dx by dt, that is change in concentration of the reactant with respect to time, or change in concentration of product with respect to time. With reactant there will be a negative sign, with product there is a positive sign. Rate is equal to rate constant into change in concentration with respect to n. Okay, what is n over here? N is the order of the reaction. It can be 0 order, 1 order, 2 order, or even in fraction. Okay, so using this relationship we can derive. For instance, what will be the unit for rate? What is the unit for rate? Concentration will be in moles per liter, right? K will not have, we have to find out the unit of K. And what about rate? Rate is determined in moles per liter per second. Okay, the unit for rate is always moles per liter per second. Now see how this equation will become. K will be equal to, we will bring concentration raised to the power of n in the denominator. So K will be equal to rate upon concentration raised to the power of n, right? So let us first derive for a zero order reaction. What is it going to be? Is that clear? For a zero order reaction, rate upon concentration raised to the power of n is equal to k. We have to derive the units. N is equal to 0. Anything raised to the power of 0 is 1, right? Anything raised to the power of 0 is 1. So what is k equal to? Rate. This will be for first order reaction. I am taking the value of n to be equal to 1. No, anything raised to the power of 0, n is equal to 0. Okay? Anything raised to the power of 0 is equal to 1. So rate upon concentration. This is what is left. Rate is moles per liter per second, and concentration is in moles per liter. This will get cancelled. What are we left with? Second inverse. Okay? Then n is equal to 1. If this is equal to 1, then what will happen? Now like this, we can derive, and you can see here. If it is 0, n is equal to 0, it should be moles per liter per second. Okay, anything raised to the power of 0 is 1 moles per liter per second. Okay, first order n is equal to 1, it will be second inverse, which we just derived. Second order reaction n is equal to 2. Okay, moles inverse liter time inverse. This table I have given, but there is no need of learning this table. If you learn this what relationship what I have given, rate is equal to K into concentration raised to the power of n. Keep on putting the value of n and you will derive the units. Rate will be moles per liter per second and concentration will be moles per liter. Okay, so we can derive the relationship. We can derive the unit, and this is asked in 1 mark question. Okay, now in case of gaseous reactions, means like N2 plus H2 is giving you ammonia. N2 plus H2 is giving you ammonia. So what will happen here? All the reactants and products are in gaseous state. So in that case, we can take pressure. Instead of molar concentration, we can take pressure. So K will be equal to atmosphere 1 minus N time inverse. Unit of time will be seconds. N is the order of the reaction, and this will be atmosphere. This is the unit of pressure. So from here you can derive. Next is pseudo first order reaction. What is the meaning of pseudo? Pseudo means false, right? Pseudo first order reaction. Now for this, the best example you have to remember is all hydrolysis reactions are first order, pseudo first order reaction. All hydrolysis reaction means you make any organic compound react with water. It will be hydrolysis reaction. One such example is I have given here is this is ethyl acetate. It's an ester, CH3 COO C2H5. Ethyl acetate plus water in presence of an acid, okay, will give you how is an ester formed? When an acid reacts with an alcohol. So these two products are formed. Now, how is it a pseudo unimolecular reaction? Since in hydrolysis reaction, water is present in excess. Water is present in excess. So what will happen? We will not take the water concentration into account for calculating rate of reaction or order of reaction because it will not change much. It will only be the concentration of ethyl acetate which will affect the rate of reaction. It will only be concentration of ethyl acetate which will affect the rate of reaction and order of reaction. So order of reaction will be 1, although there are 2 reactants, right? But molecularity and order of reaction will be 1 because water does not change in concentration of water does not affect the rate of reaction. So such is the example of unimolecular reaction or pseudo unimolecular reaction, okay, or pseudo first order reaction, all mean the same thing. Pseudo unimolecular reaction, pseudo first order reaction, okay, both mean the same thing, right? All right, another example is inversion of cane sugar or hydrolysis of cane sugar. Cane sugar is C12H22O11 plus water in acidic medium will give you glucose and fructose. C6H12O6 plus C6H12O6. This is glucose and fructose, right? Now, here order the rate of reaction will depend only on concentration of cane sugar. It will not depend on concentration of water. Okay, so molecularity is 1, order of reaction is also 1. So this is an example of pseudo unimolecular reaction. Okay, another interesting thing is zero order reaction. I just now explained it to you. If the rate of reaction is independent of the concentration of the reactant molecules, then we call the reaction is said to be of zero order. Okay? There are examples of zero order reaction. This also can be asked in 1 mark to give one example of zero order reaction. Hydrogen plus chlorine in presence of sunlight forms 2HCl. Okay? Then 2HI in presence of gold forms hydrogen and iodine. Ammonia in presence of platinum breaks up into nitrogen and hydrogen. These are some of the examples of zero order reaction, easy to remember. Then derivation of expression of integrated rate law for zero order reaction. For zero order reaction, to derive an integrated rate equation. Okay. Now, if A is changing into B, your derivation will start from here. A is changing into B, then as it is a reaction of zero order, we will integrate on both the sides. What is this? Minus D. D means a small change. Concentration of A with respect to time is equal to rate constant into concentration of A raised to the power of 0. Okay. Minus D concentration of A upon dt is equal to K concentration of A raised to the power of 0. Anything raised to the power of 0 is 1. Okay. So this will be equal to K. Then minus D, you bring this dt this side. Okay. Cross multiply. Minus D into concentration of A is equal to K into dt. Integrate on both the sides. Alright. We'll have to add a constant L. This will be minus change in concentration of A is equal to Kt plus L. When T is equal to 0, A is your concentration of A is equal to initial concentration A0. When time is equal to 0 in the beginning of the reaction, then concentration of A will be equal to concentration of A will be known as initial concentration A0. Okay. Now substituting the value of L in equation 1, we get, now this is simple substitution and derivation. Alright, I don't think so it requires much of explanation, but I'll click this and send it to you. Okay, you can go through it, and I've written everything over here. So you will be able to derive this equation. Hello, will you be able to derive, or you want me to discuss? You will be able to do it? Bio students will be able to do it? It is nothing very difficult, only integrating the equation you have to add a constant, that is L, right? The rest, all the steps are here. So this will be the equation for zero order reaction. K is equal to 1 by T, A0 minus A. What is A0? Initial concentration. A is final concentration at time T, and this is T is time taken in seconds. Okay, this is how you find out the rate constant. Now what is a first order reaction? First order reaction is a reaction in which the rate of reaction is controlled by change in concentration of only one of the reactants. Okay, now the same way there is derivation here for first order reaction. It is nothing very difficult. Okay, you will get this equation, which is your first order rate equation. T is equal to 2.303 by K. See here ln is log to the base E. To convert it to the log to the base 10, we multiply by 2.303. T is equal to 2.303 by K log A0 upon A. This is known as first order rate equation, and you get numericals on this. This is first order rate equation. T is equal to 2.303 by K log of A0 upon A. What is K over here? The rate constant. And as long as the reactants remain the same, the rate constant for a given reaction depends only on temperature. I hope you remember that. Then A0 is your initial concentration, and A is concentration of A at time T. Okay, we also can write AT over here. Sometimes it is written AT. Is that clear? This is first order rate equation over here. Now there is a graph over here. This is between log of concentration of A and log concentration of A as L. That is, the slope of the graph will be minus k upon 2.303. Okay, so this is not all that important either. The next topic is very important, that is half-life period. What is half-life period? Now I am defining it, you listen carefully. Okay, it is the time taken for the initial concentration of the reactant to be reduced to half. It is the time taken for the initial concentration of the reactants to be reduced to half. If the initial concentration was A0, alright, the time taken for A0 to become A0 by 2, exactly half, that time will be known as T half. Okay, it will be represented as T half, like this. Half life. Okay, that is T half when the initial concentration, if it is A0, will become, if it is A0, initial concentration. Okay, then if A0 becomes A0 by 2, then the time taken for the reaction to be completed, that will be T half. Okay, alright. For a zero order reaction, T half is equal to A upon 2K, right? What is A taken here? Now I have taken small a here, I have written it is initial concentration. You can write A0 also, capital A0 also, that's also correct. T half is equal to A0 by 2K. Okay, if I write it like this, what information do I get from here? T half is equal to A0 upon 2K. K is rate constant. It is inversely proportional to K, right? And directly proportional to initial concentration. That means half-life of a zero-order reaction depends upon initial concentration of the reactant. Okay, but if you remember, there can be a confusion here. I had told you that the rate of reaction of a zero-order reaction is independent of initial concentration. That is, rate is independent, but half-life is directly proportional to A0. Okay, so you have to remember that for a zero order reaction. But for the first order reaction, T half is equal to 0.693 upon K. For a first order reaction, it is equal to 0.693 upon K. We don't have concentration term here at all. A0 is not there. That means for a first order reaction, the rate is directly proportional to the concentration, but half life is independent of the rate of reaction, initial concentration of the reactant. Half life is independent of initial concentration of the reactant. Now, how did we uh, get these equations? That derivation is also there. It is asked for 1 or 2 marks, so that we will do it next time. Okay, so any questions so far to be asked? I will send you, I'll click these derivations, you can go through it. If you have any problem, I can take it up again. Okay, shall we leave the class now? Any problem?